So this is the Oak Hill Cemetery.
Yep.
And Dave, this is where I forget the name of the guy that was murdered, but he's
Freeman Harvey.
Freeman Harvey. So this is where, and we're in Ellershouse, and I've got John Wilson driving here, and Dave Blanchard showing me around, and we're just driving down the streets here in Ellershouse. So these streets were nothing but maple trees all the way down both sides.
There used to be maple trees lined up.
Yeah, it's good to go, John.
What we know of this here now is the Ellershouse Road.
Yeah.
But originally, at one time, this was called Mill Street.
Oh yeah.
And it was called Mill Street because the road ran from here down to the mill in Hartsville.
Oh yeah.
And this was known as Mill Street.
Yeah.
And a lot of these houses here, they were built in the early 1900s and whatnot. A few of the ones over here a ways. There's still a lot of the maples left along the sides here.
Yeah.
But these from here over,
yeah,
just slow there a bit, John.
Yeah,
these ones here,
that greenhouse, you slow up there.
That would have been moved down from up back of the church, up on the hill.
These were the old German houses.
The old German houses.
Yeah, this house right here on the side, this blue one. So they pulled them down with the oxes or the horses, and
oxen,
and then them people were all. They come from the shipwreck, right, Dave?
That was where a lot of the Germans came from. Yeah.
Yeah, and they lived up. There was a lake or a pond up the top of the hill here.
There's a pond up there, and there was also Ellershouse had a lot of houses built going down the other way towards the railroad track.
Yeah.
So making a left turn there.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of them there, and the big house here in the corner, this one here.
Yeah.
That was built for his engineer or Guzman.
Okay.
And but it's passed through quite a few hands since. But
yeah.
It's still in fairly good
It's
shape.
a beautiful home. Really, really nice home.
And they're also going like here in front of us.
Yeah.
There used to be a spruce hedge started up the road here to my right.
Yeah.
And ran right down just about to the railroad track. Plus, there's this whole avenue here.
This
was full of maple trees.
This is all maple trees, and then a spruce hedge on the right hand side,
yeah.
Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can remember, we were kids. You come down in the summertime, and when the leaves were on, you could have a pretty good rainstorm. You wouldn't get wet until the wind come up.
Yeah.
Because it was all sheltered. So that was the building there. That was the original store that was there. And the next house to it there.
Yeah.
That was a hotel.
Okay. Okay. So where was the train station gone, Dave?
Yep, the train station used to be right
here.
Just wait till we get turned around.
So this
we're driving. If we couldn't have driven here when the train station was here because we'd have bumped.
We're on the train station.
We're practically on the railroad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whose store is this?
I'm not sure just who has
Okay.
it now.
Okay. But it's original store right from. It's been around for a long time, Dave.
Yes.
Yeah.
A gentleman by the name of Stevens owned it originally, way back.
Was this the hotel here, David?
That's the hotel.
Right here. This
one here.
Okay. So they had lots of hotels here because people would come from everywhere with their horse and buggies to get on the train if they wanted to go to Halifax. They'd come in from St. Croix and Brooklyn, Newport Station.
Yeah.
How many hotels were actually here? There was.
Well, I think they had 3 here at one time.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
But there's a lot of that house is an original house. This one's a fairly old here, and but it's just the way that it's time goes on. Some of the houses stay and some go.
Yeah.
And
So we must have go down to where that murder
we'll
actually
show-
took
we'll show
place
you.
there. I guess it's not that far.
No,
is
it's
it,
just,
George?
No, it's just down the end of the road here. But no, it's and there's the river down just over the bank there. This would be the same, well, the one that crosses under the road down here. And you know, the way the community is built up quite a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Just in my days.
Yeah.
I can remember when there's only 3 or 4 houses down through here. So it's doesn't take long to add up.
Is this called Dawson Creek? Or,
Well,
Dawson
this would be,
Brook, or what's the...
well, Dawson Brook comes into that.
Oh, yeah.
That actually has water coming in there from Dawson Brook,
A lot
Bog
of brooks
Brook,
running in, yeah.
Valley Dump Brook,
Yeah. they'll-
and comes down the brook, the brook that comes down from the pond up in back of home there, the brook there, that comes into that. And
runs out down there in Thumbnail
Yeah.
Creek.
on the on the George Spence that was mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
With the murder and that down
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
his house used to set him back here.
Oh, yeah.
This was all his farm here,
Oh, yeah.
and from there it goes right down here to the end of right up against Dawson Road there. And that's where his properties were. There's the old gravel. That's where a lot of the gravel came from the old #1 highways through there now.
Okay.
Really?
Back in the, you know, for working on it, a lot going on in the 40s and 30s, I guess. The old Montague house would have been located right
Right here in this intersection.
down in there.
Yeah, and that Montague house, that was the land grant was in that name to start
Yeah.
with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that was on the big
Yeah.
land. Now this house right here.
Yeah, it's not the same house as it.
No, but it's supposed to be on the same.
It's on the same basement. Okay.
Yeah, and it's basically, I guess, the house pretty well looks the same. The pictures I've seen of the old house.
Yeah.
But this is where Freeman Harvey lived, was here.
Oh, okay.
And
You had a little farm here.
yep.
Yeah.
All this part here down behind there, that you see it, cause I bet you there used to be 25 apple trees down in there.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So is this the moose hole here, Dave?
Well, the moose hole used to be, the river here,
Yeah.
you go up, and that's used to go up to the moose hole.
And what is that? Is it just a big waterfall or what?
No, it was a kind of a, it was kind of a hole in a big bunch of rocks there, eh?
Yeah.
And that's where we always went swimming.
Okay.
Right off of one part of it, the water would be about 7 feet deep.
Oh, yeah.
And then it went over to the other side of it, about 20 feet across. And, you know, you could stand, it was only about 3 feet over there.
Yeah.
Had a good gravel bottom in it. And just a hole in a big rock, basically what it was.
I just want to nip up here to Newport Station
Yep.
because they're tearing those houses down here
Oh, yeah.
because